What would you do if the person you trusted most was dying, but the illness was just a cover for betrayal? The glow of her phone lit up the bedroom at 2:17 a.m., casting shadows across her face as she turned slightly away from me, whispering into it like I wasn't even there. Her voice, weak, fragile, the same voice she used every day to convince me she was too sick to move, suddenly sounded alive, almost excited. I held my breath, pretending to sleep, listening as she said one sentence that hollowed me out completely. "I'll see you tomorrow, same place." And that's when I realized my wife wasn't sick at all. If you genuinely enjoy our stories, please subscribe to the channel, tell us where you're from, and what time it is right now. It's always fascinating to know how far our story flows. It didn't start with suspicion. It started with fear. Emily had always been strong, one of those women who never slowed down. We lived in Chicago, just off West Belmont Avenue, in a modest condo we'd worked years to afford. Then one day, she collapsed in the kitchen. Doctors couldn't find anything definitive. Fatigue, dizziness, chronic pain, nothing conclusive. She stopped working, stopped going out, stopped being her. And I stepped up. I worked longer hours at the firm downtown, picked up her prescriptions, cooked, cleaned, paid everything. I became the husband people praised, the one who never left her side. Except I did leave. Every morning at 7:30 a.m., I kissed her forehead and went to work. And apparently, that's when her real life began. The first crack wasn't the phone call. It was the receipts. I was cleaning out the car one Saturday when I found a crumpled receipt in the glove compartment. A restaurant. Not just any place, some upscale spot in River North. 2 entrees. Wine. Dessert. The date? Wednesday. A day I distinctly remembered her telling me she couldn't even get out of bed. I asked her about it that night. She didn't hesitate. "Oh, that?" My sister stopped by and picked up food for me. I couldn't eat most of it. She smiled weakly, eyes tired. I believed her, because I wanted to. But things started stacking up. Her phone became glued to her. Password changed. Screen always angled away. And then there were the doctor appointments. 3 times a week. Always mid-morning. "I'll Uber," she insisted. "You don't need to take time off." I thought she was protecting my job. Turns out, she was protecting something else. The humiliation came quietly. At a company happy hour, one of my coworkers leaned in after a few drinks and said, "Man, I saw Emily the other day. She looked great. Way better than you described." I froze. "Where?" I asked. He shrugged. "Some cafe on Northwell Street." She was with a guy? I assumed it was family. I laughed it off. But inside something snapped. That night, I didn't confront her. I watched her. I started leaving earlier, coming back later, tracking patterns, learning her rhythm. And then one morning, I didn't go to work. I sat in my car across the street. At exactly 9:12 a.m., she walked out. No limp, no weakness, no hesitation. She wore a dress I hadn't seen in months. Hair done, makeup perfect. She got into a black BMW, and he was already inside. He kissed her before she even closed the door. I don't remember driving that day. I don't remember breathing. I just remember the feeling of something inside me collapsing, like a building finally giving way after months of damage. But I didn't confront her. Not yet. Because pain can do 2 things to a man. It can break him, or it can sharpen him. And I chose the second. I became quiet, observant, patient. I installed a tracking app on her phone, pulled our financial records, accessed her email through an old shared login she forgot to change. And what I found was worse than I imagined. His name was Daniel. Married. 2 kids. Lived in Naperville. They met at a physical therapy clinic she had been attending. Except she stopped going months ago. The sickness? It was real at first. But once she recovered, she realized something. Being sick meant she didn't have to work. It meant I took care of everything. It gave her freedom. Freedom to cheat. Their messages weren't just physical. They mocked me. "Does he still think you're dying? He's so pathetic. I love how easy this is." I stopped sleeping, stopped eating, but I kept smiling at her, kissing her forehead every morning, playing my role. Because revenge isn't loud. It's precise. I hired a lawyer, a ruthless one, filed for divorce quietly, collected months of evidence, photos, messages, GPS logs, financial misuse. And then, I waited for the perfect moment. Her birthday. She insisted on celebrating, said she was feeling better. We booked a private room at a restaurant on West Hubbard Street. She invited friends, even some of my coworkers. Daniel came too. Of course he did. She introduced him as a friend. He shook my hand, smiled. I smiled back. Dinner went smoothly. Laughter, drinks, speeches. And then, I stood up. I actually have something special planned, I said. I connected my phone to the screen behind us and pressed play. Photos, videos, messages, her voice, his voice, dates, locations, lies. The room went silent. Emily's face drained of color. Daniel stood up immediately. What the hell is this? I looked at him calmly. This is the part where your wife finds out too. Because she was there. I had invited her. She walked in slowly, eyes locked on the screen. And everything exploded. Screaming, crying, chaos. Emily tried to grab me. Please stop. I stepped back. No, I said quietly. You had months. I'm just getting started. By morning, everything was done. Divorce filed. Evidence submitted. Assets frozen. Daniel's wife took everything. Emily lost the condo. Her reputation. Her friends. Her job prospects. Gone once the story spread. And the illness? No one believed it anymore. A few weeks later, she called me. Crying. Begging. I have nothing left. I listened. Silently. And then I hung up. Because the truth is, she wasn't destroyed in that restaurant. She was destroyed the moment she thought I'd never find out. I still live in Chicago. Different place now. Quieter. Sometimes I wake up at 2 a.m. and see a phone screen glow in the dark. But now, there's no one there. Just silence. And the memory of a woman who faked being broken. Until I showed her what real loss feels like. The end.